Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey Cowboys Nation, today we've got some shocking news that's shaking up the Dallas Cowboys and the entire NFL landscape. If you thought the Cowboys season was already full of twists and turns, wait until you hear what just happened with Trevon Diggs. Yes, the star cornerback, a player who has been pivotal on the defense, a guy who's been both a highlight reel and a key part of Dallas's secondary, is no longer a Cowboy. The news came as a surprise to many, and it's casting a long shadow over what's left of this season and the future of the team. So, buckle up, because we're diving deep into this story, exploring all the angles, implications, and what it might mean for the Cowboys going forward. Let's start with the revelation itself. According to NFL Network's Jane Slater, Trevon Diggs was recently informed that the Dallas Cowboys have decided to release him. This isn't just a benching or a trade rumor. It's an outright release, which means Diggs is now a free agent, at least for the moment. Now, this raises immediate questions. Why now? Why at this point in the season? Diggs, who's been a cornerstone on the Cowboys' defense since he was drafted in 2020, has had his share of ups and downs, but his impact has always been undeniable. So what prompted this decision? Was it a matter of salary cap concerns? Did it have to do with his recent performance? Or perhaps, was it a strategic move by the Cowboys to shake up their secondary ahead of the playoffs? One thing's for sure, Diggs himself has made it clear that he's not ready to hang up his cleats just yet. In fact, he's expressed a strong desire to continue playing this season if the opportunity presents itself. Despite being released, he has reportedly told interested teams that he is healthy, motivated, and eager to join a team that's still in the playoff hunt. This is a critical point because, as we all know, the NFL is a league where the narrative can change rapidly. A player released one week can be signed by another team the very next day, especially if that team sees him as a valuable addition for a playoff push. Now, let's talk about the mechanics of this situation. What does it mean for Diggs financially? According to reports, he is hitting the waiver wire this week, which gives other NFL teams a chance to claim him and his current contract. If another team claims him, they would owe him $472,000 bonus for Week 18. Additionally, if Diggs is activated and plays, he would earn an extra $58,823 based on ESPN's Field Yates calculations. His current season salary with the Cowboys was set at $5 million, but it's important to note that his contract carries a significant cap hit of over $12 million. That's a hefty price tag for a team to take on at this stage of the season, especially for a player who has played only in 8 games and registered 25 tackles without an interception or a deflection in that span. This brings us to the broader context of Diggs's contract and future earnings. His deal for the 2026 season could be worth up to $14.5 million in salary, with projections indicating it could rise to $19.5 million in 2027 and $20 million in 2028. However, these figures are not guaranteed, which makes the decision to release him somewhat more understandable from the Cowboys' perspective. They might be weighing the cost against the potential benefit, especially if they believe his performance or fit isn't what they need moving forward. From a strategic standpoint, the Cowboys have to consider their current defensive scheme and the depth chart at cornerback. Diggs, as a player with proven playmaking ability, especially in coverage, can be a game-changer for any team. But recent seasons have shown that consistency and football IQ are equally crucial. His inconsistent performances at times, coupled with the team's salary cap constraints, likely influenced this decision. It's a classic NFL dilemma, balancing talent and cap space, while trying to maximize your chances of a deep playoff run. Now, let's look at the NFL landscape and potential landing spots for Diggs. With just 1 week left in the regular season, most playoff contenders have already secured their spots or are very close to doing so. The AFC playoff picture includes teams like the Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, Los Angeles Chargers, and Buffalo Bills. The battle for the last spots is fierce, with teams like the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers fighting for their postseason lives. In the NFC, teams such as the Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, and Green Bay Packers are in the hunt. The Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also vying for playoff spots this week, adding to the drama. So where could Diggs land? Naturally, he's going to want to join a team with a real shot at winning the Super Bowl, a team that can utilize his skills and provide him with a real opportunity to compete in the postseason. The question is whether any of these teams, especially those with defensive needs, will put in a claim for him. Remember, the waiver priority is determined by the current league standings, so the team at the bottom of the standings has the first chance to claim him, which could work in the Cowboys' favor if they are still in the hunt. The potential destinations are intriguing to consider. For example, a team like the Buffalo Bills, which has a strong defense but could benefit from added secondary depth, might see Diggs as a valuable piece. Or perhaps a playoff contender like the Kansas City Chiefs, or even an NFC team like the San Francisco 49ers could make a move, especially if they believe they can bolster their secondary for that final push. But of course, it all depends on whether Diggs clears waivers or gets claimed. Now, let's take a step back and analyze the implications of this entire saga for the Cowboys. First, it's a significant disruption to their secondary. Diggs, despite some inconsistency, has been a leader in many moments, capable of shutting down top receivers and creating turnovers. His absence could be felt in the upcoming game, especially if the Cowboys face a high-powered offense in the playoffs. It also raises questions about the team's defensive identity and whether this move hints at deeper issues, such as disagreements in the locker room, coaching adjustments, or salary cap strategies. Furthermore, this move might reflect the Cowboys' broader philosophy about roster management. They've been known for their aggressive salary cap maneuvers, often making tough decisions to stay within the financial limits while trying to field a competitive team. Cutting Diggs now might be a strategic move to free up cap space, allowing them to address other needs or to create flexibility for next season. Or perhaps it's a signal that the coaching staff is looking for a different style of play in the secondary, prioritizing scheme fit over individual talent. From a historical perspective, the Cowboys have a long tradition of making bold roster moves, especially when it comes to their secondary. Think back to the days of Deion Sanders, or more recently, the acquisition of players like Trevon Diggs himself. This decision adds another chapter to that ongoing story of the Cowboys trying to find the perfect mix of talent, scheme, and financial management. It's a reminder that in the NFL, no player is ever truly safe, and the landscape can shift overnight. Now, let's compare Diggs' situation to other recent NFL stories. We've seen high-profile releases and trades shake up playoff races before, but what makes this one particularly interesting is the combination of his youth, talent, and the timing. His age, still in his prime at 25, means he has many years ahead of him, and he's proven that he can be a game-changer when healthy. Yet, the NFL is a league where even the most talented players can find themselves on the outside looking in if the fit isn't right or if salary considerations come into play. Looking ahead, the big question is, where will Diggs land? Will he be claimed off waivers, potentially joining a team in the playoff hunt, or will he have to wait until free agency in the offseason? The latter could give him more control over his next destination, but also means waiting longer and facing the uncertainty of the market. For Dallas, the move might be part of a broader retooling process, especially if they're looking to get younger or more flexible financially. As fans, we can't help but wonder about the ripple effects of this decision. Will his departure weaken the Cowboys' chances in the playoffs? Or will the team rally around the new secondary pieces and prove that they are still a formidable force? The upcoming weeks will be critical, not just for Diggs' career, but for the entire Cowboys team's postseason aspirations. This move could either be a bold step toward a new chapter or a risky gamble that could backfire if the secondary struggles. Now, let's shift our focus a bit and analyze how Trevon Diggs' departure fits within the larger NFL ecosystem. Historically, players like him, who have a mix of high-end talent and some inconsistency, often find themselves in this kind of limbo when teams need to make tough financial decisions. The NFL's salary cap system forces teams into these difficult choices, balancing youth and potential against immediate performance and cap relief. Diggs' case is a textbook example of this balancing act, and it's fascinating to see how it plays out in real time. Moreover, Diggs' situation is a reminder of how dynamic the NFL roster landscape can be, especially as teams approach the crucial playoff stretch. The importance of secondary play in today's NFL cannot be overstated. With offenses becoming more sophisticated and passing games more potent, having a versatile, reliable cornerback is almost essential. Diggs' ability to shut down top receivers was a key asset for the Cowboys, and losing him could have repercussions in their upcoming matchups. It also raises the question of who will step up in his absence, whether it's a younger player, a new acquisition, or a reshuffled defensive scheme. Now, about the fans and the media reactions. Social media has been abuzz with opinions. Some fans feel betrayed, lamenting the loss of a player who brought energy and big plays. Others see it as a necessary move given the team's cap situation and roster management philosophy. Analysts are debating whether this move signals a rebuild or an all-in attempt to maximize the remaining weeks of the season. The general consensus is that this is a bold, risky move, one that could either pay off if Diggs finds a new team that values his skills or backfire if the secondary falters without him. Looking ahead, what are the Cowboys' options? They could look to promote from within, giving younger players more opportunities, or perhaps sign a veteran free agent to fill the void. The draft is another avenue, although that's a longer-term solution. But in the immediate future, the focus will be on how the team adapts to this sudden change and whether they can keep their playoff hopes alive with the current roster. As we speak about the upcoming games, it's essential to consider the defensive matchups the Cowboys will face. Will the secondary hold up? Will they be able to limit the explosive offenses they might encounter in the postseason? These are questions that will define the team's trajectory in the final weeks of the season. Plus, with the NFL's unpredictable nature, a team that makes a bold move like this could either rally and surprise everyone or struggle to find cohesion. Now, in terms of the broader NFL storyline, this release underscores how fluid and unpredictable team rosters are, especially in the crucial final stretch of the season. It highlights the importance of depth and resilience, qualities that often define playoff success. Teams that adapt quickly and make strategic moves can sometimes turn their fortunes around just in time for the postseason. Will the Cowboys be one of those teams? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. This move will be talked about for a long time and could be a turning point for Dallas's 2023 campaign. Getting back to Trevon Diggs himself, this is a pivotal moment in his career. At only 25, he's still very much in his prime, and he's shown flashes of being a shutdown corner. His journey from Alabama to becoming a key player for Dallas is a compelling story of talent, hard work, and resilience. Now, as he enters free agency, the next chapter could be even more exciting. Will he find a team that appreciates his full potential? Will he be able to showcase his skills in a different defensive system? Those are the questions fans are asking, and I'll be closely watching the NFL news cycle to see where Diggs lands. To wrap up, this entire situation is a testament to the complex, often unpredictable nature of NFL roster management. It's a reminder that even the most talented players are subject to the business side of the game, which sometimes means tough, unpopular decisions. For Cowboys fans, it's a bittersweet moment, proud of what Diggs contributed but also anxious about how the secondary will perform moving forward. For the league, it's another example of how every week brings new surprises and how teams must stay adaptable to succeed. So, what can we learn from this? That the NFL is a league where talent alone isn't enough. Strategic roster decisions, cap management, and timing are just as critical. The Cowboys' move to release Diggs might be seen as a gamble, but it's also a reflection of their ongoing quest for the perfect balance. It's a story that will continue to unfold, impacting their playoff chances and shaping their future. And honestly, it's a reminder to all of us that in football, nothing is ever certain, just like life. It's full of surprises, and the key is how you respond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and IT makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead to what's next, the Cowboys face a critical decision: how to fill the void left by Diggs. Will they look internally, trusting their young players like Kelvin Joseph or Ron Bland to step up? Or will they make a quick move in free agency or the trade market? This decision could define their defensive identity in the playoffs and beyond. Moreover, this entire saga raises questions about the long-term vision of the team. Are the Cowboys trying to build around a core of young talent, or are they still chasing that elusive Super Bowl window? The answer will become clearer in the coming weeks and months. And let's not forget about Diggs' future. While his immediate focus is on finding a team that values him and gives him a chance to compete, he's also at a crossroads in his career. Will he take this as an opportunity to prove doubters wrong, or will he become a journeyman, bouncing from team to team? His talent is undeniable, but consistency and fit are key. The league is full of talented players who, for various reasons, didn't find the right situation. Diggs' next move could define his legacy, whether he becomes a perennial Pro Bowler or just another name in NFL history. In conclusion, this story is about much more than just a release. It's about the unpredictable, business-driven nature of the NFL, where talent meets strategy and timing is everything. It's about the Cowboys' ongoing quest to find the right mix of players to compete at the highest level. And it's about Trevon Diggs' journey, which is far from over. For us fans, it's a reminder that hope and uncertainty go hand in hand in football, that every game, every decision, every move can change the course of history. Stay tuned, folks. We'll keep a close eye on the developments and bring you all the updates as they happen. Whether Diggs gets claimed or hits free agency, one thing's for sure. The NFL landscape is shifting once again, and Dallas Cowboys fans are right in the thick of it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of your favorite team. Your support means everything, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this incredible story. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest news and analysis. Because in the end, whether we're celebrating victories or analyzing setbacks, it's all part of the passion that makes Cowboys Nation the best fan base in the NFL.